Good evening, everybody. I'm Alberto Giusti, and I was a serial entrepreneur until 2006, and then I began to do the actual job that I do. That is, I'm a business angel. I invest in startup and innovation. I made 6 startups, and I sold 4 of them, and the last one of mine was in 2006. And I would like to talk about the change of the world today, but especially about the speed of the change, because the speed is the different because versus the past. And so if it took 38 years to radio to reach 50 million users, only 14 years in 41, and there was 80 days for iPad. A physical device in the hand of the people. So the world has changed, and it's not a matter. And we are trying to understand the new world, but we studied the first industrial revolution and saw the steam as energy, the railroads and the train, factories began in this time, and then mass education began in this time. And then the second industrial revolution, and so electricity as energy, and then the cars, highways as transportation, and mass production goes live here. Then the first digital revolution, we loved it until 2006, because in 2006 there was the birth of the social network, and we were only eaters of data, and then we began to make data. And then we have the born of the internet, the information highways, data sharing. It was in the first digital revolution. And then the second one, we are in the second digital revolution. And so electrical smart grid, social network, computing, Internet of Things. We have seen industrial Internet of Things in the slide before. And there was new geography and new acronyms. AGAF, well, we take these after. Mark Anderson was the founder of Netscape. We remember Netscape, the first browser, commercial browser. They made it, and they sold the company for more than $1 billion. And then he made another company, he founded another company, and then sold also the other ones. And then he founded a venture capital company. And in this company, he managed to invest in Facebook, Groupon, Skype, Twitter, Foursquare, LinkedIn. Only to say that he's in a better position than us to see the new trends. And he has said every company will be a software company. Every company, no matter what is the business or the industry, will do software, because it's a matter today. Every company that is up to date make also software in their business. And this is the average lifespan of years in which a company stood in the Standard & Poor's 500 index in the United States. And it was an average of 60 years in 1960, and the estimation is 15 years in 2025. And what does it matter? It matters that the leader of the business change in a faster way than before. And so we remember about Blockbuster. Blockbuster, we think that it was in the business of the renting of the DVD, and it was in the business of make the video available for the people, and not the renting of DVD. Blockbuster was Chapter 11, was failed, the company, and Netflix, that was a startup, only is the actual leader of the market. Or Kodak, it was a colossus, and they made the film, the paper photograph and so on, but they don't manage to have the focus on the right business. They were in the sharing of the photo with the other people. And Instagram was bought by Facebook for $1 billion, and Kodak failed. So the new company that began in these years are in a better position than the leader to manage to reach the leadership. And so the 89% of the companies that were in Fortune 500 list in 1955 are not in 2015. And 40% of the companies list today will disappear in the next 10 years. And it's a fact. It's not in discussion. And, but there are also other factors. The typical Fortune 500 company took about 20 years to reach a capitalization of 1 billion. Today, this time goes down, and today it's less than 2 years to have a capitalization of 1 billion, because the new company that was born in the last years, the better one, the best one, are managed to have a capitalization of 1 billion in less than 2 years today. So there are several factors. The return of asset is has an average value that is falling every year, because the return is today under 1%. But there are several companies that make a lot of money, and it's not a matter today. And in every industry, it is appearing, also in the car industry. It was incredible that one company in 10 years could do the best car until this time. So Tesla make a car that has a score of 100 to 100. And it was the best compared with the past. And then they changed the evaluation grade. And the capitalization also, this is 2015, but today the capitalization is even more than this. And it was unbelievable, but it is appearing in every industry. And so new trends, innovative startup that adopted new trends, early adopter, and then innovative company that adopted this new model, and then the new normality. The other company will disappear. But this time was 20 years. Today it's 2, 3 years. So it's the speed that is different from the past. And we have the clear information in the capitalization of the several companies in the market. And AGAF, Amazon, Google, Apple, Facebook, has a capitalization 2,064 billion of dollar versus 327 billion of dollar at FTSE MIB. All the Italian company in the stock exchange, the entire stock exchange, a capitalization that is a fraction of the other ones. Amazon, 562 billion capitalization at the end of 2017. Revenue in the quarter, 60 billion, 9% of the EBITDA. And it's astonished that Amazon make an integration in the value chain, in the production of the stuff. And so Amazon Fashion makes fashion. Amazon Elements makes vitamin and stuff like this in the drug sector. Amazon Basics makes electronics. Amazon Insurance sells the insurance of Amazon. So Amazon began to assess every industry, every retail industry until today. Or Facebook capitalization, 562 billion of dollar, revenue 13 billion of dollar in the quarter, and 50% of EBITDA. 50% of the EBITDA. And the growth versus the year before was 55% of the income of Facebook. It's astonished. And it's astonished that, well, but my children don't go on Facebook, they go on Instagram. Well, they bought it. Well, my children don't go on Facebook, they go on WhatsApp. Well, they bought it. So they have the clear focus on the value, and the value is the relationship with the people. And they bought all the company that has a relationship with so much people. They tried to buy also Snapchat, but for 3 billion the founder didn't sell it. And then the ecosphere of Google, of Alphabet, that is the holding. And so the first search engine is Google. The second search engine in the world is? The second search engine in the world is? It's YouTube. That is the second place where the people search, but it's not specifically a search engine. But if it's the second place where the people search, how many videos we have on YouTube? Because we are so much focused on the first page on Google in every keyword, how many videos? And which is the market share of Android? Do you know it? It's 83%. Android has a share of 83% of the market, and iOS, that is operative system on Apple, has 13%. And Android is growing and iOS is falling. It's astonished because we are sensor with the Android phone. We are a sensor for Google. They tell us the traffic on the road because they have the information of how many Android goes in this road today, how many was yesterday, in how much time. Today there is traffic, yesterday there wasn't. Or capitalization is 758 billion, revenue 32 billion in the quarter for 24% of the EBITDA. Why Google make the innovation of the self-driving car? Also, this sector of the self-driving car began with the R&D of Google. Why Google focused on this? Because they have studied that the majority of the time in the day that we are not in front of a screen was the time in the car where we were driving. So if they managed to liberate ourselves from this activity, they could have our attention on the screen that could be the screen in the car. So it's astonished also the paradigm where they focus on their activity. Apple capitalization 835 billion, revenue 88 billion in the quarter, and 33% of EBITDA. They make iron stuff, and they have 33% of the EBITDA. Apple in the 2016 for 13 days has more cash versus Federal Reserve. They have 134 billion of cash, and the Federal Reserve has less money. But Federal Reserve create the money, and so they manage to have more money the day after. In 2017, the majority of the cash that was in Apple was 221 billion. They have 221 billion in cash. They could buy something with this. The real power of the world today is the cash of this kind of company. Google today has 88 billion of cash. If Trump decided to invest 5 billion, he didn't manage to make this. If Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, wanted to invest 10 billion, he managed to make it. And all this for the new technology. So it's only a matter of time when the new technology will change every industry. 3D printing changing the airplane engine, and for the a part of the engine in $40,000 in 2007, and it was $400 in 2014, minus 100% in 7 years. And that's a robot from $500 million in 2008 to 22,000 in 2013. Drones from $100,000 in 2007 to $700 in 2013. Sensor of neuroscience, $4,000 in 2006, $90 in 2011. So there are several examples of these. And it's only a matter of time when they manage to make this in our industry. The technology will change every industry. But we are not Amazon, Google, Apple, Facebook. should do from today. We should use the innovation, the technology, the new things. We should have the hands-on, the new trends. We should have the perception of where are the trends of our section or our industry. And it's not a matter of maps. It's only orientation because there is no map. And we have to overtake cultural barrage. We don't have time for this now. We don't know how to do this. This is the way we have done it. I will lose influence in my organization. It doesn't have the right political support. It doesn't want the risk. We know this, but we have to overcome this objection. We have to understand the heart of the system. There are the digital natives, the new people that could use the digital. But also the business native are the people that exist because they could manage to make the stuff in the business, in the industry. But there is a lack of the leader that could make these two type of people work together and to make the strategy, to make the system works. And we could learn from the startup because they found a new way to do things and to multiplicate. And General Electric told to the world that they would like to become the biggest startup in the world. Because with the lean startup methodology, they managed to develop a new fridge. It took before 3 years, and then they managed to make this in 8 months. And so they managed to have the sale of these frigos that was 2.1 times the other models. But it's not a matter that we could delegate to someone else. We have to do ourselves because we need to understand the new trend. We need to have the sensibility to make the strategies. And there are several things that happening in the sector near yours. And so we could have a permeability to innovation and we could learn from the business model and from the innovation in other sectors to manage to reach our current market or other markets that are beginning today. And we have to do this fast because it's not a matter of the next year we will plan to. No, in the next week we will plan to make this investment, to have this information, to make the decision for the next week, the week after the next. Because there are no boundaries today. If Google makes Google Venture, that is the corporate venture capital of Google that invests in startup, and in 2013 they invested 65% in the consumer internet, we understand it because Google, consumer internet, okay. But in 2014 they divided more the investment, but they invested a larger part, 36%, in the life science and health. When Google invests in the health sector, today it's possible everything. And the nice thing that it's all at the beginning. We could manage to do this. Well, I finished my time, but you could have the presentation, so you could see also the video. Because we don't know where the world will go, but if we manage to create it, it's easier. Thank you.